Hey, welcome back everyone. So this video is on CONY, what is happening with the CONY price, where it has been, where it might be going, what I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about selling off my CONY. I'll tell you why and where it could go. Just some theoreticals. None of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research, make your own decisions, all that kind of good stuff. So with that, let's get started. So CONY has taken a big dump, gone from about 30 bucks to about 20. That's about a 33% drop. That's pretty significant. Now, one of the problems with yield max ETFs like CONY, Tesla, SQY, etc., is that we capture just a portion of the upside of the underlying stock and all of the downside of the underlying stock. I'm going to show you what has happened. But first, let's talk about the rise of CONY in the past couple months. So here's the deal. We went from about 20 bucks up to 30 bucks. So that was a rise of about 50%. Now, in that time, Coinbase, the underlying stock to this, did a rise of about 250%. It went from like 72 bucks up to like 180, so 250%. But we only captured 20% or so of the upside. We only got a 50% increase. So that's that, we only captured about 20%, but we captured all the downside because it crashed from about 186 down to 130. Which is about a 30% dump or so. And that is exactly what we did. We dumped about 30%, 33%. So we captured all the downside and only 20% or so of the upside. So let's just use that as kind of a guidepost for what might be happening. Now, where is the CONY price going in the future? Well, you have to really think about what's going to happen on the coin price in the future. So coin, we saw a serious correction in the coin price. Cesar from Cesar Gets Crypto thinks that coin might be going to 100 bucks. Now, 100 bucks is, a significant drop. It's like a 25% drop from now. So that means we could see a 25% drop in the price of CONY. So a 25% drop in the price of CONY is $5. So we could see it going down to like 15 bucks. We could see it be going down to 15 bucks. There's no guarantee that Coinbase is going to go to $100. No guarantee. But if it were, we'd probably go into about a price of CONY of about 15 bucks, which would put pretty much all CONY investors underwater, which is not good. That's not where you want to be at all. This is what I talked to you about Tesla and what was pissing me off. So this is why I'm kind of thinking about selling my CONY shares, because I'm like, well, my money would be better suited going elsewhere, probably specifically grayscale funds where I can make way more than a 2x or 3x in the next 12 to 18 months with long-term capital gains rates instead of short-term. But anyway, that is neither here nor there. If you see my other videos, I talk about yield max a lot and what they could do. So I've been thinking about it. I was getting grayscale-itis, and I was like, I should just sell off my dividend ETFs and get grayscale trusts instead, because I can write it up for the next 12 to 18 months and make out like a bandit in comparison to my high yield ETFs. But I should have, in hindsight, I should have sold CONY when it was 28 bucks or 26 bucks or 24 bucks or 22 bucks. But I didn't. In hindsight is 2020. We all tend to make this mistake. And hindsight is 2020. We all learn from our past mistakes and our wishes and our woulda, coulda, and all that kind of stuff looking back. But that's just the way it is. Okay, so where do I think CONY is going in the medium term? And by that, I mean the next couple months. Well, I think Coinbase is going to get back to its highs that it saw during the last bull run. So maybe up to like 300 bucks or so. So 300 bucks or so. So if let's assume for this discussion that we're dropping down to 100 bucks, CONY's going down to 15 bucks, coin's going down to 100 bucks, and then coin goes up to 300 bucks. Well, that's a 200% improvement or a 300% move on the part of CONY or coin. So we would if we only got 20% of that, that's like a 50% increase. So if we're starting at 15 bucks price point for CONY, we're only going to probably go up to about 22 bucks on CONY. We're not going to make it up to 30, I don't think, unless Coinbase reaches really new heights. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Revised estimate based on this major pullback in Coinbase. That's, it's going to be a different story, I think, for CONY. I'm not, I don't know. I don't know about CONY, because it's like, damn. Crypto is a volatile ride, and it's like I'm just looking at this stuff and I'm doing the math and I'm going, why the hell am I in CONY, honestly, when I can make so much more in grayscale? And that's just, I just look at the investment vehicles and I go, I don't know that I want to ride this. I don't know that I want to ride this because I've talked before about what I think CONY price might do at the end of the bull run, and man, if we're like at a $25 or $20 CONY, like towards the end of the bull run, man, I think that thing is going to crater. I think it's going to crater because Coinbase, it would be dropping from $300 down to like $70 or something. I mean that's a massive crash percent wise, and so we'd see a corresponding massive crash in the price of CONY percent wise. So definitely like a warning that I'll repeat here. Like if it were me, I would be exiting my position in CONY before the bull run was over. Jeez, I don't know. So I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking. CONY might drop to $15. If we see Coinbase go to 100, then I would expect us to get a price point of CONY of about $15, and which would put most CONY investors underwater. I think everybody, unless you're buying at 15, everybody would be underwater, which is not where you want to be because it diminishes your total return. Even if you're getting high dividend yields, if your basis is even like $25 and you're dropping down to 15, that's a huge drop, and you've got several months of distributions from CONY to be able to catch up with that. Plus, your CONY distributions are taxed at ordinary income rates, which are short-term capital gains rates, basically, and so you got to take that into consideration. So I don't know. I mean, I should have sold CONY at $28 or $26 or $24. I should have sold. And so I'm thinking that on Tuesday, I'll probably sell off my CONY position and either sit in cash for a little bit, see what happens. I might buy back into CONY if it hits 15, or I might rotate some or all of it into grayscale funds because I think they can just do way much better. That's just my opinion, but you look at history and it's what's going to happen. And I don't know. I might, come back to CONY after the bull market is over, maybe, and we'll see what kind of yields it's getting in comparison to the other yield max funds that are out there. But it could be that other funds are potentially better, like less crazy. Crypto can be super crazy with the news and all that kind of stuff. Every stock can be. Coinbase is getting hit pretty bad, but Moderna could get hit, Tesla could get hit. All the underlying companies associated with the yield max ETFs could get hit pretty bad with bad news, bad earnings, all that kind of stuff. And so I don't know. It's I look at Tesla and I go, there's no way I'd want to buy into Tesla unless it's like at the bottom. And like right now it's a pretty good price, but it could go lower, right? Could go lower. So I don't know that I want to buy in there. But Coinbase, it's like if it drops to 15, I'd be inclined to buy it personally, or thereabouts. And that's just kind of what I'm thinking. But I should have sold at 22 or 24 or 26 or 28. I should have sold. But nobody knows the future. Nobody knows what's going to happen. And we didn't know how severe and kind of long lasting the Coinbase correction was going to be, because I think a lot of us in the crypto space were just thinking that Coinbase would not have taken the hit that it did. We had a lot of positive news of the Bitcoin ETF coming out and all that kind of stuff. We didn't think it was going to take a negative hit to it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking, again, just to recap, is that there's a potential to have Coinbase, the coin stock, go to about $100. Not a guarantee, obviously, but the potential to. If that were to happen, we'd probably be sitting at like a $15 CONY, probably thereabouts, something like that. And then maybe from there, it's like we'd be, going up to like, it's like, I don't know, like what would we be doing? We'd be going up to like $23, $24 maybe as a high for CONY, I'm thinking, in the future, like heading into the bull run. Could be wrong. It all depends on what kind of price action happens with Coinbase. And the more violent shakes that the Coinbase stock has, the worse it could be for CONY, because you capture, again, all of the downside, 100% of the downside, but just some of the upside. In this case, when I calculated it, it was about 20% of the upside. So if it's going up and down constantly, guess what? The price of CONY is going to go down over time, not stay, stagnant or solid or regular. It's going to go down. It's going to go down. Anyway, hopefully this is helpful. This is not a recommendation for you to sell CONY. You got to make your own decision on that kind of stuff if you want to do it. I know some people already have. which in hindsight was a smart move because they got out at the right time. They got out at the right time, and I'm thinking about selling my shares on Tuesday. We will see what happens on Tuesday, and I've got a few days to think about it, but that's my thinking right now. All right, hope you guys are doing well. You guys take care.